What's good, beautiful people? Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of the Treyders podcast. We are back here again to chat about stocks and AMC. Thank you to John already for the super chat. That is much appreciated, my friend. We are out here, and I'm going to be answering some questions regarding AMC. So specifically, I will touch on other stocks here. Some stocks that we have been hitting off really solid, such as AGTC, Sensonics. I know the CTRM had a red day today here, so we can touch on that as well down the road. I'm not going to be streaming for a super long amount of time, but I will be here for about 30 to 45 minutes to answer any relevant questions. If you would like a question answered, there is a link to a Discord in the description box down below. This is an AMC specific Discord. So if you want to check that out, it is a great spot where we do have a lot of people that are talking about AMC and that whole situation there. So if you're interested in checking that out, it is available for you to do so. My friends and family and fellow Gorilla Gang, welcome. So I'm just going to get everything set up here so I can read off some comments and questions and stuff. All right. So first thing I want to start off with is the overall interest in short interest that we have available to us. So I had a couple different things sent to me. One thing I want to start off with is a short volume master short ratio table. So one thing that I find very interesting is this. We see that Fintel has changed their numbers on a pretty regular basis regarding overall short volume ratio and short interest. And the reason that I think this is happening, I did talk with somebody over at one of my Discords, and he said, Trey, from what I'm understanding, they're reporting the overall short volume from only one source, which is FINRA. And they're taking the overall market volume, the average market volume, from multiple news sources, such as BATS, FINRA, NASDAQ, NYX data, right? And they're basically misrepresenting the total overall short interest or short volume ratio. So what this good friend of mine did for us is put together a little spreadsheet here. And I'm going to see if I can scroll in on this and zoom in. I'm not very tech savvy, but let me see if I can do that here really quick. 1 second. So how do I zoom in on this? I'm a weeb. I'm a simple weeb, my friends. But essentially what this is saying is instead of seeing that 15% number, which people have been talking about, we can see that the overall short volume is more like, between 40% and 50% in total. And I would anticipate that today we're going to see a pretty huge number in comparison to what has been reported, because according to Fintel, right, we can see that the overall short volume ratio today was 22%. And if they're just taking the overall short volume from one specific exchange, which is FINRA, right? That is going to misrepresent the overall information that is available to us. So that's pretty interesting stuff. I do want to point that out first and foremost. I'm going to be reading off some questions here. Thank you to Peter, by the way. Swedish Gorilla Gang here. We like the stock, baby. I'm going to read off some questions here from that Discord. If you do want to check that out, there is a link in the description box down below. So I'm going to start off with this question right here. Is the no sell limit in Cash App how the hedge funds drag this out? I don't know if it's specifically, so this is coming over from the Discord. I don't know if it's just the no sell limit in Cash App that's dragging out this play, right? I think what's honestly doing it is there's not a lot of volume and not a lot of attention that's coming into AMC as of now. So we had that AMC Tuesday 2 million thing. I don't think people really bought into that. I'm not going to lie to you. I think that didn't end up panning out like everybody thought it would. And because of that, consequently, the price action today was pretty flat. I mean, if we just take a quick peek here at the overall action, we did still set higher lows and higher highs on AMC, but the RSI was sitting at 45 on the 1 month chart, which is nothing crazy. It's not a lot of buying momentum and pressure. So I don't necessarily think that it's just because of Cash App specifically, but I do think it's because, these hedge funds are dragging it out specifically in terms of overall short interest, right? They are continuing to short the stock. They're misrepresenting data from places like Fintel, right? So that's what's happening there in my opinion. Kyle, thank you for the super chat, as well as Stormy the Stormerific. We've got Kyle saying, my lost it. Please check out FPVD Big Token. It's OTC, but huge potential and will uplist. No YouTuber has ever mentioned it. So I will check out FPVD here very briefly. So we'll check this out really quick. This is an OTC market stock, so you cannot buy this on Webull for your information. You can buy this on Fidelity or Charles Schwab. So as it's sitting right now, this is looking super bullish, man. That looks nasty. Very consistent volume on the RSI sitting at 72. It's up a lot. Man, this was trading at 0.013, so this is up like 1,000% in a couple of days. It's got a nice upward moving channel, which looks very clean. I would anticipate a good entry point is going to be right around here at about 0.069 if it pulls back to there. That would be my 2 cents there. And then MVIS offering, I do think that is likely down the road, but I don't think as of now. They're really focusing on that automotive LiDAR presentation. Sensonics, I have a video coming out later, so I'm not going to quite touch on that, but there is a video coming out on Sensonics, so wait for that. All right, so I'm going to answer another question here over at the Discord. In AMC, what does the barcode-like candlesticks mean? So barcoding. What is barcoding? Barcoding is an opportunity for traders to come into a stock and basically scalp it, right? So if we look at today's price action and just zoom out here, this is what barcoding looks like. It's essentially this back and forth algorithmic like buying and selling coming from traders stepping into the stock. And this typically happens when there's not a lot of volume coming into a stock. So that's most likely why we're seeing a lot of this this barcoding action happen here on AMC. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's not typically what you're looking for in a stock, but typically that happens with consolidation and low volume. So that, I hope that explains the question there. I wouldn't necessarily say it's bad though. What I want to see happen is the volume picking back up, because without the volume, AMC's just not going to do anything. G. Morgan said, how do I handle my crippling depression from not selling AMC when I was up 10K? Oh man, dude, I know what you're saying. I was up on AMC about $30,000 at one point, and I didn't sell either. But honestly, man, the price is psychological. I truly do think you're going to have an opportunity to get back into this play and see it move, because we have three different kind of, scenarios here that I think could be very positive. The first one is the squeeze, right? I do still think the squeeze potential is there, but it's not likely right now. It's not going to happen today, tomorrow, the next day, until we see that volume start to pick up and we can put a little bit of pressure on these shorts. Because as it sits right now, it's true. We own the majority of the stocks. The float is starting to decrease. The short interest rate, like the borrow fee, is starting to increase. It's at about 4%, but that's still not putting a lot of pressure on the shorts. So it's just not there yet. It's not there right now. Second scenario is if Amazon acquires AMC, which is also a possibility. So I do have some information pulled up here on my Twitter, which I want to share with everybody. This is very significant. This was tweeted at me. I did retweet it, and it is this. Check this out. Amazon's largest institutional investors. We've got the Manufacturers Life Insurance Company, and we also have Nomura, American International, Public Employees, and Stifel. Well, check this out. They also bought into AMC on the 13th, the 12th, the 12th, the 12th, and the 12th. I don't think that's a coincidence. I don't think you're seeing these same companies buying into Amazon and AMC at the exact same time for absolutely no reason. So I think that's pretty significant information that could lead to a buyout down the road. We also have Forbes that retweeted a tweet back from about a year ago talking about this possible Amazon and AMC acquisition deal. So I think that is the second scenario what should happen. And the third is that neither happens and you see a slow and steady climb up to about $20 to $25 at around May or June. And as we're sitting right now in the price action, right, we're trading at about $5.67. So if it ends up going up to that $20 to $25 mark, you're still at 400, 500% on your stock if the average price is somewhere around $5 or $6, which isn't bad at the end of the day. I am 100% content with that. Control mouse wheel to zoom on 900 shares at 748. Really sad about today, but thank you for bringing the world together. Hey man, it is what it is. I apologize that we haven't seen it play out the way that we thought it would. I'm actually a little bit disappointed with that AMC 2 million. I'm not a financial advisor or expert. I'm not telling anybody what to do, right? But there was a lot of hype around that, a lot of trend on Twitter regarding that situation, and it didn't end up playing out the way that we thought it would, for sure. I just don't think that people bought into it, because if we look at the overall volume on the day, it was nothing crazy whatsoever. It was about the same amount of volume that we typically always see, right? So in today's volume, we saw 60 million shares, which is a little bump from the last day, right? But not a lot. That's not enough to get this moving again. Just to be completely honest, that's just the truth. So it's sad to see that. Paid for my Mavis AMC depression pill. Yes, Mavis has been killing. New to the gang, welcome Josh. Good to have you here. Crazy Killa. Trey, have you seen the short numbers for CTRM? If I read them correctly, that is a large amount of shorting going on for CTRM. I have a video coming out on that, and for good reason, because I think that is extremely relevant information. After this question, I am going to come back to the Discord and answer a couple questions regarding AMC, but if we want to take a quick peek at the CTRM short interest, I want to show this to you. So I pulled this up off of Ortex, and I want to show you the Ortex information regarding CTRM. Check this out. This is nasty. The current utilization on CTRM is 100%, meaning that 100% of current utilizable lendable shares for shorting are out right now. There's zero current utilizable short shares available. That's astronomical. The cost to borrow is 26.6% annually. That's a very high interest rate. And this goes up as the risk for shorting goes up, right? Because brokerage accounts want to keep their money. They don't want to risk money. So they're going to increase that overall cost to borrow fee, right? So that's very high. The only thing that I don't like is the days to cover is pretty low. It's at 0.34. We want to see this number a little bit higher so we can put more pressure on the shorts in regards to CTRM, but this is looking beautiful. I think there's a lot of opportunity with CTRM. I am going to have a video come out on this today, and I think there's a lot of opportunity here without a doubt. So, coming back here to AMC, I'm going to answer a couple more questions over here at the Discord and then read out some more comments. All right. Days to cover needs to be higher instead of lower. I agree, my friend. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom so I can keep up with everybody. Most recent comments and questions. So, check this out. Thoughts on short evasion as seen with GME via ETFs? Any guesstimate on real amount of short shares? Very good question. So, there has been speculation and questions being asked on whether hedge funds are basically secretly shorting AMC to manipulate how much short interest is actually coming into the stock. And the way that they can do this is with ETFs that have heavy stakes in AMC. If they short those ETFs, it comes across as though the AMC short volume is going down, when in reality it's just being refocused. So that is a very, very realistic possibility. And I've seen a lot of talk about that. And I've seen some ETFs, I don't remember the exact tickers on them, that actually have a pretty high amount of short interest compared week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So I do think that is extremely possible regarding AMC's situation. That could be a strategy that both AMC and GameStop hedge funds are using to appear as though you're not seeing the same amount of short interest coming into the stock. AMC equals not dead cat. No, not dead cat. Mark, come on, man. Come on. No way. All right. Junkyard News. With my SOS, I'm going to scroll back up here. With my SOS gains, I'm sending you the super chat. Great videos. Keep it up and buy an SOS before it's too late. I plan on it, my friend. I 100% do. I put this on everybody's radar here today. SOS has been a crush in stock. It has been absolutely going to the moon. It hit today, I think, like $13, but we're going to refresh this real quick and just take a peek. $13.94 here in the after hours is what we closed at. So absolutely beautiful day. I put this out on YouTube. It was trading at about $10 when the video went live. I said a buy it under $10 to treat you pretty well. I don't know if you quite got the opportunity, but nonetheless, it did end up running very, very smooth. And compared to other blockchain companies such as Mara and Riot, I think this is extremely undervalued. So there could be some really solid upside there. How do I trade for someone else and do taxes? Isaiah, I personally have never done that. So I don't want to answer that question for you because I'm not a tax master. In fact, I barely know how to do my own taxes. I'm gonna end up paying somebody to do that because I don't want to screw it up. I'm kind of nervous, but that's a question I would ask, or search for on a tax specific channel. All right, M20 Fund says, I heard the failure to deliver report from the SEC just came out for AMC and GME. What are the implications of this? Great question. This has been asked over to the Discord quite a bit. So I'm going to pull this up right now. Let me show you this. So I have this on my Twitter. I ended up retweeting this just to show people how freaking crazy the manipulation is here. Now check this out. Share this before I go missing, boys. 54 million shares failed to deliver. 54 million. So look at these numbers. GME stocks not paid equals 10.6 million. AMC is 54.2 million, right? They lost. They got to deliver them. Last month was half the stock. Now, in saying this, all of these stocks, they said in the news, they already covered, right? So the news sources are saying that the hedge funds already covered their positions here, but that's not the case, obviously. Look at this. These numbers are insane. 27.6 million shares in a single day. That's $137 million that was not accounted for. That's absolutely astronomical. I can't believe that's even the case here. And it's mind-blowing. That's very, very significant. And all this is saying, my friends, is the amount of manipulation going on with AMC is through the moon. That's insane. That's crazy numbers. And then we got this. The short borrow fee rate just doubled in the past hour. Today it went up to about 4.5%, which is a pretty decent amount. So keep that in the back of your mind in regards to that. It does look like as though the short interest and the overall short demand is higher and the short volume, the utilization is starting to drop. So that's pretty significant. That's something to keep in the back of your mind. All right, gonna read one of these messages off of here from the Discord and just answer some questions. This is coming from Chris G. Hey man, first off, just want to say thank you for all you are doing. I noticed on Reddit, SEC had released the new numbers for failures to deliver, so I didn't just read that off. I hope that answers your question, my friend. Coming from Fidel, realistically, how much would AMC go up after the shorts cover the failed to deliver shares? So it's tough to say exactly how much a stock squeezes, right? But squeezes are violent. If AMC ends up squeezing, which at this current moment, it doesn't look like it's going to do until we get more volume picking up here in the stock, right? But squeezes are like hundreds of percents up to thousands of percent. So, Volkswagen went from 100 euros up to about 950 euros to give you an idea. They're significant. They're huge, huge pushes. So if it happened as of tomorrow, right, you would squeeze this tomorrow, I would not be surprised in the least bit to see it hit 50, 60 bucks. But it's going to be a lot different of a picture if this gets up to $10, right? Because 800% of $10 is 80. 800% of $15, you guys see the compounding effect here. It's a very, very significant number. Gonna read out some numbers here from the super chats. Thank you to everybody that's taking the time to tune in. If you would not mind dropping a like on the video, it really does help support the channel. Gorilla Gang, drop some gorillas in the comment section, my friends. I really do appreciate everybody immensely. MVIS aftermarket. So MVIS, it pulled back, that's all. I wouldn't be worried, my friend. pullbacks happen. Stocks don't only just go up. Stocks go up and stocks go down. NVIDIA is going to continue to run. This is a buying opportunity. You don't want to sell when it's dipping like that. Stocks will always pull back. So don't be concerned. All right, Tamara says, "Hey Trey, Uami. Uami I am very bullish on. Uami is a stock that I think is going to be a big player in the upcoming weeks and months. There's rumor that they're in a non-binding contract with Ambry. Actually, it's not even a rumor, it's just factual. They're in a non-binding contract with Ambry. And Bill Gates is invested in Ambry. So what's cool about antimony, U.S. antimony, Uami, right, is that they have this antimony product which is used in batteries for electric vehicles and autonomous vehicles. It's a very safe material, and if they end up capitalizing on this and really pushing it, and Ambry form some sort of deal or contract between the two companies, right? That could be a big push, especially because Bill Gates is tied in with Ambry. So I could very easily see this being the next fuel cell. That sounds crazy. That sounds crazy, but I called fuel cell when it was $7, and I would not be surprised on the least bit to see Uami be that next $20 stock in a couple months from now. So that's my 2 cents. Kuzma, thank you, my friend. I appreciate you, my fellow ape. Man, apes together. Apes together strong, baby. You can't break those sticks. Can't break those sticks. Gonna read off a couple comments here from the Discord. So we've got, how do the shorts sell back and forth to each other? That is called short ladder attacks, short laddering. So if we just take a quick peek back at AMC and what that means, right? So essentially what you're having happen is hedge funds sell back and forth to each other to trick the market maker algorithm into thinking there's an extreme sell-off happening, when in reality there's just a couple hundred shares to a couple thousand shares being bought and sold back and forth to each other in an algorithmic fashion. Now, of course, you are going to have some profit takers. There are people in here that took profits that sold out of their stock, right? Took losses or took gains, but that's not going to create this drop from $21 down to $7.30. This is shorting. That happens when companies short a stock. You're not going to see that from solely sell-offs, right? So this is an example of a short ladder attack. It's essentially, you have two hedge funds sell and buy back and forth to each other to ladder down the overall price action on a stock. All right. Look into NPHC and let me know your thoughts. I'll check this out really quick here. So NPHC as of now, let me just zoom out here a little bit. Looks like they're just on a little bit of a pullback. They haven't found a bottom yet, so I'm just going to do a little bit of a retracement. Pretty harsh retracement, but look for a bounce at that 0.007 mark. We haven't got that wide range candle yet to confirm that it's bounced, so I wouldn't buy it until you see that bottom out. Hey, appreciate that, Jeremy. Thank you, my friend. Holding strong on AMC and 1 million shares in Hcmc. Ready for either to go to the moon. Much love, brother. Hey, man, that's awesome. Hcmc is a really solid, rare opportunity. I like this as a solid opportunity, without a doubt. The end of the day, pretty solid at about 0.0049. I've seen some numbers floating around that it might hit $1. And it does sound like Philip Morris might end up meeting a deal here on that settlement. I don't think they want to go to court. I think they're going to end up paying the settlement fine. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. And I'm going to read off Gabriel and then come back here over to the Discord and answer some questions over here. Hi, Trey. I had AMC calls, had $6K profit. I lost all that. I had an extra $740 today. I rolled over the options to March 19th and had to pay an extra $444 in credit to do so, waiting to March 19th. Lost another $105 on the new calls today. So, I don't know what your strike price was on the call options. I can't really tell you a whole lot about the call unless you tell me the strike. But if you rolled it over to $3.19, let's say that your strike was, $6. If it goes over $6, I think the break even would end up being somewhere around $6.50, and then anything over that, you continue to profit off the stock. So don't be concerned about the day-to-day fluctuations. It's going to just take, the volume picking back up and the movement in the price action starting to pick back up again as well. All right, so coming back over here from Music Lover 420. Have you seen the chart for IMAX? Do you think it will reflect on AMC? So I'm going to pull this up here really quick. Oh, we got these stupid ads. So I'm going to let that ad render and just answer a quick question and then come back to that. Charles Schwab does not buy 1.7 million shares of dead cat. That's what I'm saying, guys. Not a dead cat. Not a dead cat. Not a dead cat. Not a dead cat. I'm telling you. I wish I was a Khajiit. That was always my favorite, my favorite warrior class in Skyrim. I think I played Skyrim front to back like 10 times. I remember being so goddamn happy when that game came out. I think it was like 2012. I got it for Christmas, and I played that thing. I've got easily like 2,000 hours in that game, but nonetheless, this is not a dead cat, guys. Charles Schwab would not put $3.5 million into a company that isn't going to do anything. I'm telling you that right now. That is significant information. I don't know where I put that. Here we go. So AMC institutional ownership. I think I retweeted this on Twitter, so let me just pull this up quick. Charles Schwab bought in with $1.77 million, 1.77 million shares, $3.75 million. This is not a dead cat. Pay attention to the numbers. Pay attention to who's investing in the company. That is significant information, my friends. That is not an accident. That is not an accident at all. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. So I'm going to check and see if this news article is loaded up, and it is. So let's check this out. I have not seen this article yet. Movie theater stocks led by IMAX post gains after China box office eruption. So exhibition stocks paced by IMAX moved higher today as investors reacted to explosive weekend box office in China. The hope on Wall Street, unlike the mirage that briefly quadrupled AMC's market value amid the GameStop surge, is that stateside theaters may soon see pent-up demand finally released. IMAX shares rose 6.5% to finish at $19.85 after briefly exceeding $20 for the first time since late 2019. I think it could. I think so. I mean, think about Fuel Cell, Plug, and Clean Energy. All three of those companies. When Plug does well, Fuel Cell and Clean Energy typically do well as well. So I think it's all these different movie theater companies, such as IMAX, Cinemax, AMC. When those do well, you're typically going to see the others follow. So when AMC was doing well, I think Cinemark also did well. So we're going to check this out on the 1 month chart. You can line this up pretty much exactly right? So this is right around when AMC had a nice push. They moved all the way up to $28. So you guys get the picture here. I 100% think that is very possible. All right, Brian says, love the show on the insight. Can you take a look at TRIT? FinTech, a lot of short interest, and provide some analysis. So I will take a quick peek over here at TRIT really fast. This is a company that people have been telling me to check out for quite a while. And I have not gotten around to it. I do apologize, but it does look good. It is on an ascending level of support. We got a George W. Drop some George W's in the chat bar, my fellow apes, my fellow Gorilla Gang. That is a nice bullish indicator of an upcoming reversal, a bullish run. That looks pretty solid. I don't mind that at all. We've got the 15 MA just crossing over the 200 MA right here. This looks like my favorite kind of play. To me, this is a catch the hype before the hype comes kind of play. That's why I love these two indicators, because this indicates to me right when a breakout is about to happen. We haven't seen the breakout yet. It's about to happen. This is my favorite kind of play. This is like the perfect time to buy into a stock. I like that setup a lot. If the short interest is high on TRIT, that's a solid potential for sure. It's down quite a bit, but that just means that you see there's an extreme amount of upside, right? We've seen it hit 1634, so it's got a lot of potential. I don't mind that at all. Nice consistent volume, which is good. RSI sitting at 60, so I'd wait for a pullback right around 782. That'd be a pretty solid entry point. Alrighty. Gonna read off a couple more comments here. Crabs or apes? I'm an ape guy. Shamp Believe It says, I sold all my Nokia stocks to buy more of AMC. What are your thoughts? Which one makes it out of the swamp first? So it's tough to say which will happen. I believe in Nokia as a company quite a bit. I think their 5G satellite has a lot of potential, but you can always come back to Nokia, right? So I think you're choosing between, two different, bar rail whiskeys. They're both going to treat you well. They're both going to do the job, in my personal opinion. I don't think they're going to be bad for that. All right, so Gabriel says, thank you for the super chat, by the way. Anybody taking the time to drop a super chat and to join in for the Traders podcast here, I do appreciate you immensely. It does mean a lot to me. Gabriel says, should I wait till 319 or sell them when I break even? It's totally up to you, my friend. If you want to take profits, you can 100% do that, but there's no shame in holding either. It completely depends on your financial situation. Personally, I'm going to be holding my position in AMC. I haven't bought any call options on AMC because I think this is a riskier play, and I typically want to do call options on a stock that I have very, 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 very high conviction in, a certain time frame, right? And the AMC time frame is very uncertain right now. We don't know when or if the Amazon acquisition will happen. We don't know when a squeeze will happen, right? That's unpredictable stuff. So I'd personally stay away from call options on stocks that I can't predict in that sense. I would rather just buy shares. That's my 2 cents. Do I think Plug will jump back up this week? It crashed today. Love you, Trey. Yeah, no problem, Janine. So I love Plug. Even if it doesn't come back this week, it will come back. Plug to me a year from now is probably going to be like a $120 stock, which sounds insane, but trust me, the entire clean energy sector took a hit today. This is an opportunity to buy in. If you want to increase your position, that is the time to do it. Don't sweat that. Don't sweat that at all. So I'll check out Sing here really quick. We'll just take a quick peek at that stock. Today we had a great day, my friends. AGTC and Sense Onyx went to the moon. Absolutely insane day. I think AGTC actually ended over $9, which is absolutely beautiful. But seeing as it sits right now, this is an OTC market stock. You cannot buy this on Webull. Did find a nice bottom here at the 50% retracement of 0.0462. Looks pretty solid. Nice gap between the 15 MA and 200 EMA. RSI is at 43. I think a good entry point is going to be at 0.046. Looks very bullish though. I like it a lot. It's got a nice ascending level of support as well. That is going to treat you very, very nicely. I'm going to answer a question over here in the Discord, and then it is this. What's your exit plan with AMC? Do you have a number you want to sell at? So, specific numbers, I do not have a specific number, but I'll tell you what the exit strategy for me is. In these couple different scenarios, right? Check this out. There's 3 different ways this can play out. A squeeze happens. So if a squeeze ends up happening, right, you're going to know because the stock price will go up hundreds of percent in a single day. What comes to mind for me is, God, what was that freaking stock today that went absolutely insane? It was up like 600% or something. Drop the ticker. You guys know what I'm talking about. You already know what I'm talking about. I don't remember the ticker right now, but it was up like 600% today. But anyways, that's an example of a squeeze. That stock got squozed. And you're going to know because this stock will do the exact same thing. So that's my 2 cents there. You'll know if that happens. I wouldn't look for a specific number. I would just look for the price action. The price action will tell the story there. SCKT, that's what it was. So SCKT was up like 600% today, right? That's an example of a squeeze. And typically the pullbacks are about the same, right? So we saw a harsh pullback. So that's an example of a squeeze. AMC will likely do something very, very similar. Second scenario, Amazon acquisition or Netflix acquisition. In this case, it's not really a certain price that you're looking for, or more so like you're looking for that acquisition to happen. So when the acquisition happens, you will be compensated for the acquisition per $1 billion in acquisition, right? So let's say they're bought out for $10 billion, you receive a multiple per $1 billion in acquisition. That would treat you pretty dang well. If that doesn't happen, scenario 3 is I'll hold this until May or June, and I'll be looking for a $20 to $25 price target post-COVID and quarantine. Mario Gunner says, join the stream late. Sorry if you already talked about this, but thoughts on CCIV? Very bullish on CCIV. If that merger ends up happening, this is going to be another Tesla. And I'm not kidding you. I think this is going to be a $100 stock once that merger is announced. And I think it's got a lot of potential to continuously grow. This is a great company to establish a position in. A lot of people miss out on the initial Tesla, but this could be a follow-up for sure. Dude, thanks for joining the Patreon. That means a lot, my friend. I appreciate that, Jason. Why did you drop 90% of Snpw? Thanks for all you do, brother. So it's not because I don't like Snpw. It's because I wanted to rebalance my portfolio. I don't mind Snpw as a company. I believe in them a lot, right? But there's other plays that I want to diversify in so that I can, secure profits and really capitalize on other stocks that I have high conviction in. So I sold out 90% of my Snpw so that I can buy into stocks and increase my position in Sensonics, in MVIS, in AGTC, in AMC, and CTRM. I've got a lot of convictions in Hcmc. Those are all stocks that I want to be able to put some powder in, and I just don't currently have the powder for it. So I'm just rebalancing and moving things where I think they belong. Gonna read off some comments here over at the Discord. If the community became successful enough through this AMC fiasco in the long term, would you support starting an investing community-funded donation program for veterans, families of fallen veterans? Praise, hell, eat cornbread. 100%, my friend. 100%. So that's something that I genuinely take a lot of pride in, is giving back to the community. And I'm definitely going to do that. So I take a lot of pride in the Army and veterans, right? So I've actually donated money to veterans before. I've donated to the Wounded Warrior Project. My father was a Special Forces veteran. He retired after 24 years. He retired as a first sergeant. He was a Special Forces guy, worked in Delta Force. They call him the Cavs now. He's done some really crazy stuff. And he got his leg amputated because of some nerve damage back when he was over in Afghanistan. Got shot off a rooftop by a mortar. And I gave back. So I used to be a pretty devout runner, and I ran across the east border to the west border of Minnesota and raised money through that entire process. And I ended up donating like $5,000 to the Wounded Warrior Project. And I 100% plan on doing the same thing and giving back to veterans and to the military through similar plays with this whole situation. So yeah, definitely, man. That's a great question. I appreciate that. Do I see this potentially hitting triple digits with a squeeze when it happens over a course of a few days or a week or two? It's possible. It's 100% possible. It's just going to take AMC having a little more climb in action, right? So we don't have the price right now for it. If it squeezes right now, I think probably 50, 60 bucks is the height. This needs to go back up a little bit. That's all it comes down to. Dude, Patrick, you don't have to send me anything. I'm telling you. You guys rock, though. I appreciate that a lot. All right. Music lover, thank you, my friend. Thank you, Alex. What price can I actually see Hcmc hitting? Conservatively, I think Hcmc will hit 50 cents. If they end up winning that, well, I shouldn't say winning, because I think what they're going to end up doing is settling for that $2 or $3 billion in investment that Philip Morris has in their IQOS product. But if they do end up getting that money, I think you're gonna see a really hard push for 50 cents. That's my 2 cents there. If asked to trade for them, how would you do it? Let me just take a peek at what your question was again. 1 second, my friend. How do I trade for someone else and do taxes? So if I was to do it, I would pay somebody to manage my taxes, because tax fraud is something that you can really get dinged on with the IRS. So I just don't. I personally would pay somebody, because I think that is the big kicker for sure. All right. So, gonna read off a couple more of these. Your picks have been solid. What's your thoughts on SONM? Check the news, please. So I'll check out SONM, then I'm gonna come back over to the Discord and answer a couple more questions over there. I will be on for about another 10 minutes or so. I'm not going to be streaming for super long today. I did want to come over here for the Discord and answer some questions regarding the AMC situation, but SONM is looking very bullish right now. Had a huge run today. I wouldn't consider buying in right now until you see a pullback, and typically strong stocks will retrace to about 50%. So I would expect a pullback to about $1.42. Watch for a pullback to about $1.42. In terms of news, there's no recent news that I can see. Hold on a sec. So these guys got a software applications FirstNet certified designation. So that's what happened here. And there could be a potential buyout. So if the buyout happens, you're going to make off like a bandit. Buyouts are very lucrative, without a doubt. All right, going to come back to the Discord and answer some questions over here. With all the new institutional buying being reported coming from Inept Guru, what kind of buy would we be looking for to really get the volume kicking again and get people interested in the stock? Great question, man. So these institutional buyers, since they were buying at the pre-market or after hours, that doesn't affect the overall price action a whole lot. But that should eventually draw other investors into the stock, because these big institutions are not going to let it sit there and do nothing, right? They got into this stock because they expect that it's going to run. So I feel very confident that AMC is eventually going to move. It's honestly just going to take the volume. We just need more volume to come back into the stock, and then you're going to see it start to move again. That's my 2 cents. All right, what is needed to drive more volume? Like, as this being so openly shorted, why aren't people buying it? By the way, Skyrim is legendary. Dude, Khajiit for life, baby. I love it. So what is it going to take? More hype. And that sounds crazy, but we need some sort of news catalyst, like AMC coming out and saying, hey, we're going to be merging with Amazon or Netflix, or perhaps good earnings revenue, or maybe they start their dividend again, right? We need something to get people interested in the fundamentals of the company, the potential for growth in the company. That is what it's going to end up taking for me to see the volume start to increase again. Thank you, Michael. Kyle, Bile update, please. So I'll check out Bile here really quick. I'm still bullish on Bile. I have not posted a video recently because it has been trading pretty sideways, but the opportunity is still there with Bile. It's on a nice ascending level of support. It's still in an upward moving channel. That looks very solid to me. We're setting higher lows and higher highs. We always look for at least 3 touch points to signify a respective level of support or resistance. We have that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks very solid. I like that a lot. Volume is down a little bit, but I don't mind that. I don't mind volume being down when it's consolidating, because that means you're going to see less volatility and it's less risky to buy into the stock. So I don't mind that at all. Not at all, my friend. Seen something that said Schwab buy-in happened last year and it was recently updated. Check out the math on buying amount and price. What do I think? Let me check it out. I don't see that being the case, to be honest with you. That wouldn't make much sense to me. So I'm going to check out Market Beat really quick. All right, so institutional owners on Market Beat. Am I looking at the right company? What the heck? Whoa! Whole crap ton of companies bought in today. Jeez. Dang. So it doesn't say the overall price that they bought at, but Jesus, look at this, guys. Wow. That's monumental. Look at this. Look at this. Holy crap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 companies bought in today. We've got SquarePoint, Glen Mead, Paloma, LMR, Tudor, Nuveen, Price, Engineers, and Charles Schwab. These aren't very big stakes, right? But LMR is a pretty decent one. And Price T. Rowe is a pretty decent one, too. Wow. That is significant. Holy crap. I'm going to see if this says anything right here. So I don't see anything as of now. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm just going to on the side of caution and say that I don't know for sure what the buy-in price was. I wish I could give you an answer, but I don't want to give you any false information, my friend. I do not want to give any false information. So I'm going to read off a couple more comments here from the Discord. Black Stallion already hinted at this. Could the utilization appear to be down since the short position holders have failed to deliver in substantial amounts for 13 consecutive settlement dates and therefore are now subject to the rules under Regulation Show 203 Bravo 3? Whereby, in order to keep an open trading market on the security, brokerage dealers in good faith can continue to lend additional shares to short holders, which therefore increases the total amount of lendable shares. If this is the case, would have you seen this situation play out ever before? Appreciate all that you do. So that 100% could be the case, my friend. It definitely could. So since there is being a misrepresentation and failure to deliver on these stocks, right, these shares, that's affecting the overall short utilization and short volume that we're seeing come into the company, right? So it's misrepresenting the data. I think the biggest takeaway on what's going on right here is there's a lot of information that we can't really trust. It's absolutely crazy. It's insane. I totally think that's possible. All right, gonna read off some comments here from the super chats. Thank you to Caleb. Thank you to Elijah, John Fields. I want to recognize everybody that did drop a super chat. The Gamer Bun, drink your water. I do have a drink. Hold on a sec. I'm gonna go get a drink really quick. Don't worry. Don't worry. That is decaf coffee. There's no caffeine. Decaf. Decaf. Anywho. Gonna read off Alex Bradford. Thoughts on Digital Ally. DGLY. Short interest targeted today. So if it is a very heavily shorted stock, that would be the driving factor, but it's not moving yet. Volume is nothing crazy. It's actually in a little bit of a consolidation phase. I would hold off until you see a little bit of action happen here. Trey, please move for the cow gang. Moo, baby. Oh, man. So, just saw Limelight stock, Vanguard 210, BlackRock 129. Just bought an insane amount of shares on Fintel. What are your thoughts? Did they? Let's check it out. Let's check Fintel here really quick. I'm interested to see this. So I don't see that information. If you want to drop a link for me so I can check it out, that would be the best way to make it happen, my friend. Drop a link for me. Thank you, Jonathan. Dylan, what's your thoughts on the talk about Schwab buy-in was December? Seen it said math didn't add up on buy-in since it's $5 a share now. It's possible. It's very possible. Since we don't have a price that was given by MarketBeat, it's tough to say. It's tough to say if that's the case or not, right? I'm gonna err on the side of caution and say that I don't know. It is possible, right? We don't have a date. What we do know is that's the settlement date, and I don't think they would have posted that if it wasn't the case. So that's my 2 cents there. If I bought it on CCIV low, but the payment didn't go through till it was at the peak, should I just hold anyways? Yes. CCIV will continue to run. 100%. Thank you to Enrique. Thank you to Clint. I learned my stuff from Rainer Tejo. He's the man. Fundamental analysis, I taught myself. It's basically just looking at, well, I suppose reading financial statements I read from some books, but all that you're looking for is the potential for growth in a company. That's what it takes. Thank you to Michael. Thank you to Dylan Mays, Creamy Spinach, Devin. Tuning in just after a 12-hour shift as a carpenter. Man, that's crazy. So I will check out PTE really quick here, and then I'm going to read off a couple more comments over at the Discord. We have pretty solid, I like PTE. I'm pretty bullish on PTE. I guess this is a good midterm hold. It's got a nice ascending level of support right here. I'm going to adjust this just a hair. It looks solid to me. I think this is a good buying opportunity. Sitting at 38 on the RSI, I don't see it dropping much lower than this. If it does, I think it'll end up dropping to here, but I don't see it dropping that much. I think it's gonna plateau. All right. Check out this pre-timing for AMC. So I have actually covered this in the past, but I will check this out really quick. So AMC, this is a projection of what they think is going to happen over the next 10 days based on a bunch of different data analytics, right? And they think it's going to end up testing $20 within the next week. This is just a computer system. There's no bias whatsoever. This is just based on numbers strictly. So all of these are red candles, meaning that they open higher than they close. But nonetheless, it presents opportunity for you to get a pretty solid turn on the stock. If this ends up playing out, it looks like it'll touch pretty close to 20 bucks. It's tough to say, but I see it as realistic possible. It's just going to take volume. We don't have the volume to make that happen right now. Biggest short on AMC. I think it was Melvin, but I'm not entirely sure. That's something that I would need to look into a little more. But from my understanding, it was Melvin and Citadel. They really heavily shorted these stocks. How do you feel about taking a 3,000 loss and double down on CCIV? I mean, CCIV, I think is going to continue to run. I like it a lot. I think there's a lot of potential there. I think you're gonna have multiples on your investment if you hold it for a year. DNN. I will take a quick peek at DNN. So I actually did cover DNN here briefly before, but I will just do a quick little synopsis. I think a 50% retracement is most likely, especially because we do have some consolidation right here, right? Some nice support levels. I think this is going to be a good entry point at about $1.49. Big gap between the 15 EMA, 200 EMA. Nice push in volume. Our size at 69 though. Oh man, but I wouldn't buy in right now. I wait for a pullback. I would hold out for just a little bit. You'll load my portfolio, 761 shares at $13. How long do you think until we see returns? Is it a squeeze possible and odds of an acquisition happening? Don't need the money, but what is the end game strategy? Love you. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I think it's tough to say exactly when things are going to happen, right? But I do think that AMC, if it does not squeeze or acquisition doesn't happen, will hit $20 to $25 by May or June. Because they paid off $700 million of debt. They raised a lot of cash, so they continue operations at least until, sometime at the end of 2021, which should get them a good kickstart to start selling those overpriced popcorns again. Patrick, send me your Venmo. If it hits $50, I'm sending you $10,000. You guys really don't have to send me any money, I promise you. Hey Trey, I'm holding strong AMC, but I'd love to see a top 10 video from you with your most bullish predictions you predicted, with predicted price targets. 100%, man, I will do that. I try to give out different stocks throughout time and give you guys an idea of what we're going to be seeing here, but, I definitely will do that down the road. Entropy, dude. Much love, my man. Apologies if I missed this earlier. Just got home. What do you think it would take for the SEC to actually investigate the illegal shorting or for some other government agency to investigate the SEC's failure to protect against fraud? That's the more likely scenario. I'm so glad you brought that up. The SEC, to me, my friend, is like lawyers protecting lawyers. I don't think they're going to do anything. And we've seen it. In fact, they know that this stuff is happening. And you know what they did? They ended up focusing instead on these stupid Reddit guys. They ended up focusing on SimpLord69. Get out of here. What kind of crap is that? So let me find this really quick. Check this out. SEC Reddit investigation AMC. Investigations into GameStop trading and Reddit. Former SEC enforcement chief provides insights. So the SEC has been targeting Reddit threads and Reddit guys instead of these freaking hedge funds. So I don't think the SEC is going to do anything. I'm going to be honest with you. What I think is more likely is politicians or legislators stepping in and investigating the SEC's failure to protect against fraud. I think that's legit, dude. I think that's very, very possible. That is a huge question, man. Thank you for asking that. All right. Have you looked at TXMD for me yet? I tried last stream but didn't see it. Sorry if you have already. Hey, no worries, man. I try to get to everybody. I do apologize. I'm not quite able to get to everybody's question, but I will check out TXMD for you really quick here. This is a therapeutics company. As it sits right now, they've got a disgusting George W. We got a nice double bottom here, which is typically a sign of an upcoming bullish reversal. If that ends up playing out, which 6 or 7 times out of 10 it does, now is a great time to buy in. I like that setup a lot. 15 EMA is just barely crossed under the 200 EMA, so that could be a beat the hype play without a doubt. 46 on the RSI, volume's down a little bit, but typically pretty consistent. Makes it pretty predictable. Only thing I don't like is the amount of red volume coming into this. There's not a lot of green action. I don't know if that's necessarily the bottom, but if it is, that's a solid time to buy in. Thank you, Martin. I appreciate that. Sitting on 22 million shares of HCMC at 0.002. Do you have potential price target for the end of the year if all goes well with the lawsuit? I think $1 at the end of year. That's my 2 cents. That's a lot of money, dude. Congrats. You're up filthy. Thoughts on LKCO? Rockets fueling up. So I'm gonna read this off and then come over to the Discord and read off a couple more questions. I'm assuming you mean rocket companies. Oh, LKCO. That'd be my issue. Ooh. It feels like a chase right now. I wouldn't buy in at this moment, but that looks dirty. That looks real dirty. I think you're going to see a retest of 61.8, to be honest with you. That retracement down to 250. Buying at 250 feels pretty safe to me. That would be where I would watch. I'd watch for that retracement. If it doesn't retrace to that, we do know we have this level of support right here. And you could possibly buy in. I mean, it lines up about the same. I feel pretty comfortable with saying 250. All right. What kind of volume, coming from a Discord, what kind of volume would we be looking to see a squeeze? I'm happy to long-term run this, just curious. So to see a squeeze, I think you're going to need to see previous levels in that 500 million to 800 million range. Because when this stock was really running, guys, on a daily chart, you were seeing a crap ton of volume. You were seeing 434 million, 393 million, 1.2 billion, 570 million, 595 million. It's going to take getting back into that range in order for this to really run again. That's my 2 cents. All right, and then we got this. If institutions are buying in, why isn't the price going up? Because my anticipation is they are buying in the pre-market or the after hours, and specifically institutions are able to trade during not market hour times, which won't influence the overall stock price. It's kind of sketchy, it's kind of messed up, but that's the way that institutional investing works. Dude, Curtis Yang, thank you, man. You didn't have to do that. That means a lot. My life was in limbo before. Man, that blows my mind. I can't believe you guys. Gorillas, show some love for Curtis Yang. That means a lot, my friend. I was in limbo before finding excitement and trading in your channel. Thanks, Trey. Use part of this to buy some Blaze Pizza. Oh, I love me some Blaze Pizza. Cat Gang, Cat Crew, Gorilla Gang, baby, let's go. Thank you. Essential hard worker. I highly recommend looking into DNN. I bought it at 90 cents on JMac recommendation. It just keeps rising. Very strong financials. Also opinions on Zoom. I'm so bullish on Zoom. I think it's going to be a $7 stock at the end of March. But DNN, man, that looks disgusting. That's a filthy, filthy run. I'd feel comfortable buying into this if I had a little bit of a pullback. But we just haven't had one yet. Once this pulls back, I'll feel pretty good. I would say a 50% retracement to a $1.52 looks pretty safe. CTRM video is coming out here today. In fact, I am going to just take a quick peek at my YouTube page and see if those videos are rendered. And if they are, I will start uploading them now. So give me 1 second here, my friends. This will take me about 10 seconds. So I'm just uploading my AMC update video for the day. And that should be the last video that I need to render. Update, short numbers, and recent news. Alright, so the AMC video is starting to render for the day. I do have a video on CTRM that should be out sometime here today. Waiting for that to render, and I will post it, and that will be out for everybody to watch. So let me just take a look at the rest of my current content and just make sure that that is all good to go so that I can release some videos if they are available, and it does look like they are. So I'm going to post my Sense Onyx video, my X-Zone video, and my CTRM video right now. So, Sense Onyx is live, X-Zone is live, and CTRM is live. Those are all good to go for you guys right now. I'll stick around for a couple more minutes. I'm going to read off a couple more questions and stuff, and then we're going to call this. I did say at the beginning that I was going to be holding off. We would not be streaming for very long today. I have been working pretty long. I think I've got 6 videos out in total, and I did 2 live streams today, so it's been a very long day. I do want to get a little bit of rest and chill out, chat with a girlfriend for a while, but let me just post some comments here on these different videos, and we'll be good to go. Give me just a minute. All right. What the heck? Where is this? I just want to post a comment. All right, there we go. So that's good to go. Pin that comment. Gonna come back here to X-Zone. Gonna pin a comment here. I like letting people know that I'm there. I gotta show some love to the community, my friends, my fellow apes. That's good to go. And then the CTRM video. So let me just post that over here on CTRM. The CTRM video is live. If you do want to check that out, I go into pretty strong depth and detail regarding that video as well. And then the AMC video will be live sometime tonight. It is rendering right now. So once that is live, it will be available for everybody to check out, and we are good to go there. So, gonna come in here and answer 3 more questions here on the live stream and 3 more questions over at the Discord, and we will call it a wrap for the video here today. So, gonna start off over here on the live stream. I know you love MVIS and had a good run today. What do you foresee in the future for the stock? Love you, bro. $100 by the end of the year. I absolutely love it. MVIS, I think it's got a lot of huge potential, and it's just beginning. Just beginning. They've got their LiDAR presentation coming up pretty soon here, and it's happening in April. And if that goes well, they're going to be in talks of acquisition with a couple different companies. It's got a lot of potential. Best place for the week, in my opinion, Sensonics and AGTC. Those are my double down convictions. I've done a lot of research on them. I feel very convicted in the stuff that I found, in the institutional ownership, in the upcoming catalyst. Both of them have huge things that are going to be coming pretty soon here. Love to see you in the Meet Kevin show. Thanks, man. That was a lot of fun. I can't believe how crazy that was, dude. It felt like I was living in a movie. I feel very lucky. MVIS to be bearish tomorrow. It has been on a pretty solid rampage, but it pulled back pretty hard in the after hours, so maybe not. Maybe not. If it does, I think it'll pull back to this ascending level of support at about $19. All right, so going to read off a couple of comments here from the Discord. Going to read off this Fintel alert. Thoughts on this Fintel alert? So I'll pull this up right now. In an ongoing effort to improve data quality, we are replacing Tier 2 data providers with Tier 1 providers when possible. This will be an ongoing process over the coming weeks. This migration will initially impact the following key metrics for NASDAQ and New York Stock Exchange listed companies: shares outstanding, shares float, volume. It will also affect key metrics that depend on these metrics, including but not limited to institutional ownership, short interest percent float, and short volume ratio. Since this migration is expected to improve data quality, any value you see displayed is the most accurate we have available to us. We'll see what happens. I mean, that is going to affect the overall numbers that we see on Fintel. So in the short term, it's going to make pretty unreliable data. So I wouldn't pay very close attention to Fintel because of this, right? But in the long term, if this is true, which take it with a grain of salt, right? If it is true, it should increase the overall accuracy of Fintel. Because as we do know, what's been going down essentially is Fintel has only been reporting the FINRA short interest or the short volume, and all of stock exchanges short, or not short volume, but total market volume. So if they can fix that, that's going to be huge. That could be a very good thing. All right, is a squeeze more likely to start after hours, making it harder for retail investors to sell? I don't think necessarily, man. I don't think so. I think it'll last the whole day. I mean, what you saw here today with SCK, yeah, there it is, SCKT, right? So look at this. It started in the after hours and pre-market, but it just kept running. I think that situation could very easily continue. I'll answer one more question over here in the Discord, and then we'll answer a couple questions here at the live stream, and then we will be calling it a wrap. So, Juliz says, we have been seeing institutions buying it or adding to their position. If this continues, will it reflect in share price, and or do you think they are buying the rumors? Do you think more and more institutions will be hopping on board? Gorilla Gang, baby. I do think so, and honestly, it's a good thing, because if you decrease the amount of available shares out of the outstanding shares, right, you decrease the float. That is going to increase the demand, because with a decrease in supply comes an increase in demand and overall price, right? So by institutions holding a position in AMC, you're basically creating less shares that are available for other companies to buy in, or as I should say, short the stock. So that's a good thing to see. I think it's very, very realistic and very, very possible that it does reflect in share price. D420W, what does the 50 million at the money mean for MVIS? So I don't know if I saw that. Let me check that out quick. Oh, this is very recent. Let me read this really quick. Announced it entered into a 50 million at the market equity offering agreement with Craig-Hallum. So that's basically just saying that they're giving Craig Hallam the right, but not the obligation. They have the right, if they'd like to purchase $50 million at market value. $50 million worth of shares at market value. So they're not getting a special deal. This isn't quite like a direct offering where they can offer, you know, if the shares are trading at like $10, they offer it at $8, right? So they have to purchase it at the market value. So that's a good sign. That's not a bad thing. I don't think that's going to reflect too poorly on the stock price. This actually could be why we saw it drop off a little bit in the after hours here today. In the long term, that's good for the company. That's going to raise revenue. It's going to raise cash. That's going to allow them to keep continuing operations and move forward with their overall automotive LiDAR gear and presentation that they are working for right now. Akita, HTC good buy price is $750. Watch this HTC video. Hey, appreciate that, man. So I'll check out PEI, and then Vicky is going to be my last question that I answer here today. So I will check out PEI. So PEI, as it stands right now, is bleeding pretty bad. I wouldn't buy into this until you see it bottom out. It hasn't bottomed out yet. Look for a hold above $2.23. And then I will check out ADMP. So I am bullish on ADMP. I think this is a good company. They have a cup and handle formation starting right here, and a disgusting George W in the making. So we got a bottom here, and I'm getting ready for another run. It's currently sitting at 48 on the RSI. This is a good opportunity to buy. It is held. We got a triple bottom right here on this level of support at about $1.44. So that looks very, very nice. I like that a lot. I'm very bullish on ADMP. All right, my friends, that is what I'm going to do here for the live stream today. I appreciate everybody coming in. To do a little bit of a recap, I am still bullish on AMC. We've got a couple different scenarios, ways this can play out. The squeeze is definitely still possible. We do need volume to step back into the stock in order to see the squeeze happen. We don't currently have it, right? We're going to need to come back into that 400, 500 million shares traded in a single day sort of range. That'll help drive the price action on AMC. Second scenario is going to be an acquisition from Amazon or Netflix. As it sits right now, I think Amazon is a more likely candidate, right? If that does end up happening, shareholders will receive a large stake in the company. Third scenario is none of these happen, right? And you end up holding this until May or June, in which case I think this will be a $20 to $25 stock, just based on the fact that they raised $700 million to wipe out their debt, to continue operations. They have enough cash to continue operations until at least the end of 2021. This is looking very, very solid, my friends. I love everything about AMC. I'm continuing to hold my position. I'm continuing to add to my position. I'm buying at every opportunity that I possibly have. And that is what I've got for you guys today. Thank you for tuning into the live stream. Fellow Gorilla Gang, please drop a like. Consider subscribing if you'd like to see more stuff like this and see me have some classic old Minnesota sayings. Cooking with Crisco. You know what it is. You know what it is. It is, I don't even know what I'm saying right now. But anyways, that is what I've got for you guys today. Thank you for chilling, everybody. And we're going to call it here today. Have a good one, my friends. Take it easy and peace.